your weekly tonic that talks about the surveying profession. You welcome. It's, of course, the program that's your knowledge sharing capsule, which mirrors the activities of surveyors and their roles in nation building. This initiative is a deliberate design by the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria to demystify surveying as a profession and help you appreciate what they do in contributing to the stability of the built environment and, of course, the physical space in general. It's nice to have you join us. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, so for some time now, we've been trying to, deal with the recipe, talking about the blueprint for flood management in Nigeria, and we've had a whole lot of resources. I'm talking about knowledge sharing experiences from the surveyors on what we need to do. Let's hope that we can appreciate that. Let's hope that we can apply some of these strategies that they have been suggesting, so that we can have a better, well-managed country, especially now that the floods are here, right? It's still rainy season, and the floods are still, picking up from time to time, and we've had a whole lot of suggestions on this program. So our collaboration, very, very important for us to have a flood-free season, and I'm sure that the Lagos State government is towing that line, as you heard from, the surveyor last week, talking about Dakbo Fashino, all right? So I'm sure we'll be talking about that sometime to come. But today we're going to be driving through the world of young surveyors and their own experience, right? So we're going to be talking a whole lot about that during the course of the program. It's nice to have you join us on the benchmark. But before we do so, quickly, let's get back to the roads and talk about the last update that we've got from our traffic managers that are out there. So we did tell you that if you're still making that journey to the island, you heard the last report that it was still good beyond Alakpere. So if you're heading from Alakpere towards Ogudu and Yanowuru, the entire stretch of the bridge looks very, very good to the island. But before Alakpere, from Chinatown towards Alakpere, it slows down a bit. That's what you'll find there. I'm still trying to track that 40-foot loaded container truck having a sharp problem at Orile inwards Mile 2. What's the latest with that? By the way, traffic managers there, you can keep us posted. If you are within the Mushin corridor heading towards Isolo, no access by the time you get down from the bridge. That's the Daliko Bridge, okay? We're having some issues there, and so motorists are being diverted to the main expressway, perhaps from the service lane. You drive straight down towards Sele, and you can make that journey from Sele if you want to connect Isolo. So take note of that as you drive through that corridor. So we'll be giving you more helpings as they come in from time to time, but let's switch gears now and focus the conversation on surveying as a practice. Let me bring in my guests. They are around already, and you'll be shedding light through this. Surveyor Agu Ogona Roberts, member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, Publicity Secretary, Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch. Surveyor Agu Roberts, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. It's good to be back again.
Yeah, 7 days gone by.
Yes.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And making his first entry on the program today, Surveyor David Elegbede is a member of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, and more importantly, he is the chair of the Young Surveyors Network Africa for the FIG, and I understand FIG is the Federation of International Surveyors. Is that correct?
Yes, International Federation of Surveyors.
International Federation of Surveyors. All right, then. So, Surveyor David Elegbede, nice to have you in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning to you and dear listeners.
All right, so we're going to be, driving through the world of young surveyors like you. But first things first, Agu Roberts, 7 days gone by. How are things faring with the surveying profession in Nigeria?
Oh, faring very well, very well. It's been 7 days of, very busy schedule for some of us. Yes, it's like there's a sudden surge, and everybody's suddenly realizing the need to patronize surveyors.
You mean it?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good.
A busy week.
So I say thank you to this your advocacy campaign then.
Yes.
All right. So it is statutory that at least before you get into any physical or urban space, you want to get a property or you have a land for anything, it is mandatory that you must have a surveyor. Is that not correct?
Yes.
And from what you see, apart from now that people are having that resurgence, the consciousness level, it has increased, right?
Yes, it has. It has increased.
What do you think is responsible?
Well, I think part of what's going to be responsible for that is the advocacy, and it's evident that it's yielding results. And then going in a state like Lagos, where so much clamp down on illegalities, especially those who have built along the canal rights of way and all that, there's this sudden awareness that people have that they really need the services of surveyors before they engage on any physical development.
Right, which is good. So it means your advocacy is working.
Yes, it is.
So we have David in Legbede. It's your first time here, right?
Oh, yes.
And in times past, we've done some editions on my adventure through surveying. I would love to hear from you. How did you join the profession?
Oh, okay. For me, it's not much of a mystery because I was a little bit aware, and I had done.
Is your dad a surveyor?
Is into surveying, yes.
Okay.
So I already have an idea.
So there's a leveraging table for you.
Of course, yes. Then I ironed it out and polished it myself.
Right. So how long have you been in the profession?
The journey started fully in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is 13 years down the line.
Of course, yes.
Okay. So who are those we refer to as young surveyors? I mean, is there any age categorization that we can bring in to say these are young surveyors, these are the experienced ones?
Okay, yes. According to the International Federation of Surveyors, the young surveyor has a age bracket that is 35 years and below.
Okay.
However, when you say young, we also want to classify if you have the characteristics and attributes of a young person. So you could be young at heart.
Young at heart.
Yeah.
All right. So for you now, are you young at heart or realistically young?
Well, that's why I'm the chair, because I'm still within the age.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. All right. So the Federation of International Surveyors, is it a global body?
Yes, that's the United Nations recognized body for the international for surveyors globally, and it covers all surveying discipline, including the quantity surveyors, the geospatial GIS, and so on and so forth, and the land surveyors.
Right. So you had the Young Surveyors Network for Africa.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
Oh, okay. The Young Surveyors Network is it's a network that was established in 2006. And the idea is to be able to create a networking opportunity for young minds, young surveyors who later become professionals, and for the sustainability of the profession. And that's looking into the future. And it's further divided into regions. And we have the European region, we have the Asian and Pacific regions, we have the African region, we have the American. So we all collaborate together whenever we have our events. Like we just had in Ghana, and we came back in May.
Oh, so you had an event in Ghana.
We had an event in Ghana.
Is that for the African region?
No, that's an international. So
Oh,
we all come. We now come together to do our conference.
Right. So how is it for young surveyors? Let's begin to dissect all of this and bring it into proper perspective. How is it for young surveyors in the profession?
Well, sometimes you're full of optimism. You're curious because when you get after the journey and the process as stated by the law guiding surveying in Nigeria, then you get your registration. Then you begin to ask yourself a lot of questions, because it's just like a child who has graduated from secondary school and go to the university, and after the university the parent tells you, okay, you're now on your own. So you begin to look at what does the market, you have a feel of it, but now you are in it properly, and the reality is coming to play. And we always have our curiosity, because again, you go back to the evolution of surveying, how we have moved from the days where we take measurements using some tools, drawing of tape, and at the time when people believe that surveyors, they say the guy that is carrying the pole, and where we are now, that advancement has come in, because surveying is one of the professions that technology has adversely affected positively, to be candid, and that's also affected the studies for us, because some persons in the 1980s, 70s would have studied land surveying. Some persons at a particular generation would have studied land surveying and maybe photogrammetry.
Right.
And I studied surveying and geoinformatics, which is surveying itself, geographical and computer information. So that's like a combined honor. And it gives you an exposure to new trends, which now push us out to do more than boundary markings.
Okay.
The public suddenly would always say surveyors, okay, help me demarcate my boundaries,
That's
but
right.
it doesn't just actually stop
That's what
there.
we seem to know you for. So
Well, that's what the public thinks, and we do more than that, because we could be broken into about 13 other area of specializations, which is an advocacy we are now pushing for.
you know, I've asked this question on this program before, surveyor Agorobos. I said, can a surveyor tell me what's below my land, inside the ground?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Very possible.
It's possible.
Yes, very
Even-
possible.
Even with the tools that you have.
Yes, with the tools that we have.
Okay, you need to come closer to the microphone.
Yes,
so
like Surveyor Elegbede rightly said, surveying is one profession that technology has greatly influenced positively.
okay.
So gone are the days when all the surveyor does was to just tell you the boundary of your land and then give you alignments and all that. But now with technology, we can tell you what is beneath the ground. We can tell you the volume of certain materials beneath the earth surface. So it has greatly improved our practice.
All right, technology is very, very good. But let's talk about the adventure of the young surveyors. So you have been there for over 15 years. What do you make of their struggle for relevance in the surveying frontiers? What do you make of that, Surveyor Agorobot?
Okay, in terms of relevance in the profession, I think one of the things that every young surveyor should understand is that he is not coming into a profession that is devoid of professionals, that is devoid of experienced minds. So there's no room for mediocrity. So one thing you must come armed with is knowledge.
Okay.
You must come armed with knowledge before you start talking of experience. So the profession doesn't really give room for ignorant people. So you must come prepared. You must know what you're coming in to do. And for anyone who is not really serious with his or academics, you're going to have a hard time settling into the profession.
Okay, so for most of them, when they start out like that, are they given the opportunity? Do they have the leeway to say, look, okay, these are young guys, let's give them this guidance, let's take them through this process? Are they given that opportunity?
Yes. The profession, even by the enabling laws that guide the profession, has made provisions for professional mentorship at all levels. So that's why it's not just enough to graduate from school, go for a youth service, and you think you can sit for the professional exam. No, you must go through a period of pupillage, which must last a minimum of 2 years. And that pupillage must happen under the direct supervision of a registered surveyor. Yes, so if you're in the government, if you're in paid employment, you must be directly supervised by a registered surveyor within that organization. Or if you're in the private sector, then there must be a registered surveyor who directly supervises you. And that surveyor must have, I think it used to be 2 years post-qualification, but now it's been upgraded to 5 years.
Right.
So that surveyor that will supervise you, who intends to be registered, must have a minimum of 5 years post-qualification experience.
Right. So for Surveyor that's Elegbede, your own experience, you had good leverage because your dad was already in the surveying profession. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So is that where you did your pupillage?
Oh, no. I think better for me, it is better to go out of the house to learn and to be able to...
Why was that? I mean, why did you could have just done your pupillage under him?
Well, he has his own journey, and he stopped at a particular point, so he was not up to the registrations. But he has the basics of because he had actually worked for a lot of registered surveyors in the past employed. But for me, it was just an advice from him, so we don't have that push.
Okay.
And the push for me was because I was very sound in mathematics, and it was just like, okay, mathematics was going to be do something that is mathematics, and if you do this, I think, and you can push through the rigor, you can succeed. So that was just the push for me.
So you are registered now, right? You've been there for 13 years. You have your own outfit, is that correct?
Yes, I'm actually into partnership with 2 senior surveyors, so we run as a company.
Right.
Yeah, it's a partnership.
Okay, which is good. So a lot of times when people they see you, are they reluctant? For young surveyors like you, is there any kind of reluctance to say, look, can we trust him with his job? Does he have the experience? Does that come into play?
Okay. Yes, I get a lot of reports, but sometimes I think I might not be able to use myself as an example directly because the outspokenness has already been there, and I think the first impression is when you meet somebody, the way you give an answer is what will give the person the kind of confidence. But of course, when people see young people, they prefer to see someone with a gray hair, especially when money asks to exchange hands. You need to have a lot of convincing points to be able to tell the person that don't worry, I can do this for you. But I think that is a wrong perception in this part of the world because as a chair of a larger body, you see that in other parts of the world, you see people at a very low age who are already pushing for something much higher than what we are battling for here.
Right.
And it's a little bit strange, but these days now, I think the confidence, there's an awareness program that the Young Surveyors Network, even in Lagos State, now does to put people in place, teach them how to package, because of course we can't run away from the fact that surveying is very technical. And sometimes 90% of our study is the technical aspect. So you polish the idea that you have, you polish how you treat your client during the year of your post-graduation, when you are doing what we call the pupillage.
All right.
Before your registration, it is expected that you have gained that level of confidence to be able to communicate, and it reflects also in the kind of exams that we take for our professional qualifications.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on the benchmark, we are, just glancing through young surveyors and their journey, their struggle for relevance in the surveying frontiers. And I've got with me in my studio surveyor David Elegbede. Of course, he's a member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, but much more important, he's the chairperson of the Young Surveyors Network for Africa under the that's the Federation of International Surveyors. So that is a very, very big one indeed. Surveyor Agro Robots are also, Agro Robots also in the building as well, and we are reflecting through this. Quickly, let's get back to the roads now before we begin to hear from you as well this beautiful morning on the benchmark. And let me just see, I've got something here from the Alausa Ikeja corridor, generally looking very calm, appreciably well in most of the areas of coverage. We can tell you Latif Jakonde Road, Agidingbi, Cadbury, Mobile, Coca-Cola Junction, still looking good. Likewise for the stretch from Obafemi Awolowo Road, taking it from Barracks, Coca-Cola Junction, Radio, Island intersection, up to Ikeja, underneath the bridge. At this time, things are still looking very good. Adeni Jones, in and out, also very much in good shape. And we can tell you Mobolaji Johnson Avenue from Old Toll Gate, heading towards the Secretariat intersection, and the stretch of Nuruddin Oluwopopo, connecting Otenala underneath the bridge, is moving as expected. Governor's Road as well as Governor's Avenue, Hakim Balogun, and areas like Ashabi Cole, as well as Necker House, rather, still very good. Slight delays at the alternating points, but no impediment cited all through those corridors. So you still have it pretty good as well. All right, so for young surveyors, you said you did have your event recently, Surveyor Elegbede?
Yes, in Ghana.
And what was the theme? What were you guys deliberating on?
Yes, we're looking at the future then, now, and we're looking at surveying now, then, now,
and the future.
And the future, yeah.
Right. And what are discoveries? Any major differences from then, now, and even projecting to the future?
Of course, yes, because the way surveying is, it has now gone beyond what we do here, what our academic system is able to give to us. Okay. When you look at the global trends, you see happenings now, because where there is disaster, and the surveying industry is split into different areas. We have the practitioners, we have the manufacturing industries, and you need to see the kind of gadgets that we have. Surveyor Robert was just telling us about how you intend to map underneath the water, and of course, yes, you don't have to go there, you don't have to be on the canoe, but we have devices, we have equipment that would span through the water, the surface of the water, and map out. and you're able to model out. So that is where we are going to now.
Right.
So we are moving through the trends.
Xavier, AgroRobots, what equipment do you guys use now? What equipment are in vogue for accurate mapping and, of course, surveying, as the case may be?
Okay, so we're gradually moving more into equipment that are more of LiDAR, that's light distance and ranging. So it has to do with emission of radiations that can capture even in areas that are not readily accessible.
Okay.
For instance, you can carry out a survey in an inaccessible environment without getting there physically, especially in an area that you are exposed to hazards.
You mean it?
Yes, you can remotely access data there
without
and
going there.
Yes, without getting there.
So you have equipment like that now?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
A whole lot of them.
Which is good.
Yes.
GPS, is that one of them?
Yes, we now have a GPS that is embedded with that interface.
Okay.
That can sweep through an area, that you cannot readily access. Then even for carrying out hydrographic surveys, unlike before when you need to get on the boat and then do your sounding, now we have echo sounders that can be deployed remotely.
As well?
Yes, and then the pilot is just somewhere controlling the device to get on water and then carry out surveys and return back to base.
Wow.
And then with the drone technology also, you don't have to fly over an area. Maybe there's a particular survey you want to carry out in an area and they tell you the environment is hostile, they don't allow surveyors in. You don't need to go there physically. You can deploy a drone to go capture your data and then return back to base.
And how accurate would that be?
Very accurate. Very accurate.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're exploring young surveyors and their struggle through, struggle for relevance through the profession of surveying. So you want to add your voice to the conversation, feel free. 08099 120777 and 09153 877-127. Okay, those are the numbers that you can connect with us as well. Some messages are already trickling in for you guys. This one says, good morning, Victor and the surveyors in the studio. My question is, how does mentorship play a role in the development of young surveyors? Remy Idu is sending that one in. Okay, so mentorship, AgroRobots, I'm sure you talked about this earlier on, but peradventure, Remy must have missed that. How does it play a role?
Okay, one of the areas that mentorship will help a young surveyor is in the area of, like Surveyor David rightly said, talking about how to, compose yourself, how to pitch for jobs, how to even interface with clients. Unlike what we always find, you don't jump out to give a client a costing or a bill. You're talking with the client over the phone, he hasn't seen you, and the next thing you're telling him is that this is the cost for the survey, you send your account number, when are you making payments? No, you should be able to build some confidence in this client. You should be able to build some confidence and then get him to be comfortable with engaging you for the job. You don't have to be in a hurry to, get him to make payments. And then also, equipments are very expensive. One of the things that mentorship will help a young surveyor is that you can find an umbrella you can, fall under and build your practice life. Because investing in equipment is a whole lot. And with the whole exchange, dollar exchange rates, most of our equipments are sourced abroad. And then if you find a piece of equipment costing as much as $5,000 or $10,000, how would a young surveyor be able to afford that? But if you have somebody who has already established his practice, you can come under his covering and then work with him in partnership over time and then be able to build up momentum before you set out.
All right, then another question here says, good morning, Traffic Radio. How does the FIG Young Surveyors Network support young professionals in the field of surveying? Thanks, Chika. He sent that one in. Maybe Elegbede can answer that one.
Oh yes, in a lot of ways, because we are driven by emotion, a vision that says inspire, to create an innovative mind, to empower empower the young surveyors, to strengthen them also. And part of it is that because of it's a global presence, we are able to attract the individuals or industries that have the capability to be able to come and help the young surveyors to explore. So we always have an event, like I mentioned. We have the Young Surveyors Network in almost all the states in Nigeria. We have the one for Nigeria. I used to be the communication officer for Nigeria before I became the.
So let's talk about what's the membership strength like right now?
Well, I know in Lagos. I know in Lagos that Lagos is about 600 members.
600 members.
Yes.
Young surveyors.
Young surveyors.
Wow. So you guys, it's really a big body, really.
Well, once you take the course surveying in the university or in the polytechnic, it is the duty of the young surveyor of the state to approach you and begin to watch over you, to put you through and create a platform for you so that you can sail through the journey of your surveying.
So those in higher institutions, are they also members, or they're just boarding members? You begin to watch them, but once they qualify, you can now register them?
No, they're automatically members. It is students and young professionals once they are within the age.
All right. This one says, hello, Traffic Radio. What are some common misconceptions about the surveying profession that you would like to share? Emeka from Amuwo. Agro robots. Misconceptions?
Okay, one misconception we get to experience on daily basis is that surveyors are too expensive to engage. Maybe because I'm an Igbo man, so let me talk about money first.
Right.
Yeah, surveyors are not expensive. And then another misconception is when you carry out a survey for a person and then the person is telling you, is it not just just 4 papers you're going to give me? Just come and just draw this, take your measurement, draw this line, and just no. Surveying exercises are not commonplace as people think. It might take me 30 minutes to execute your job, but it didn't take me 30 minutes to acquire that experience and that knowledge. Yes, for me personally, if I do your job in 30 minutes, I counted that it took me 7 years of study and then about over 15 years of professional life.
So it's not just
30 minutes. No, it's not just 30 minutes.
All right, but are surveyors expensive?
Surveyors in the built environment are the least remunerated.
Okay.
Our fees are the least because we don't charge. Our fees are not based on percentage.
Let's take this call. Hello there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Kayode.
Kayode, how you doing?
I'm very, very good.
Kayode, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from First Stack.
All right. We're talking about young surveyors and the adventure through the industry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's an interesting topic. I just want to find out if there are any partnerships between the Young Surveyors Network and the educational institutions.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Would you like to be a surveyor?
I think I'm way past that. I'm already on another career path. But I'm just interested in this topic.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So any partnerships right now between the young surveyors and the educational institutions?
Yes, we're talking about the youth here, and you can't take away curiosity and optimism. So we're always looking forward for partnership. And I think just last week, the young surveyors in Lagos State were in Unilag to partner with them on their Survey 2, which was a training program with the student of the Surveying and Informatics department in Unilag. So there are a lot of partnership that is going on, and if anyone is interested, maybe you're listening, you can always reach out. Once you go to you can always reach out to, I think that's Young Surveyors, ysnlagos@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah. So they can tap into that.
Yes, they can always write, and I'm sure they will get a response, and they can discuss the MOUs, and that will be fine.
Right. All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM 08099120777. Within the young surveyors fold, you have females too, right?
Of course, a lot of them.
Okay, because I know we had an edition where we talk about female surveyors and their adventure through the profession. This one says, good morning, sirs. Please, what advice would you give to students who are considering a career in surveying? Toby Emmanuel is sending that one in from Lasso. So, Agro Robots, what advice?
Okay, just ensure that you take your studies seriously. Get, of course, involved in the sciences, and then ensure you have your 5-level credits: physics, mathematics, geography, maths, and English, and then ensure that you do well in your jump, and
Right.
then pursue TME, and then
Let's take
can
this
be on the
call.
path.
Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Aditi Jaliki Stanley, and I'm a surveyor also. I actually want to lend my voice to the topic this morning, sir.
All right.
And thank you, Traffic Radio. Also, thank you for the David Leggett of your part, who happens to be a senior colleague also.
Okay.
Right, I want to quickly just drop in a little thing that came to my mind when the conversation was going on.
Right.
And then that has to do with students, especially those who are still in school.
Okay.
And all. So we have discovered that over time, most of them lose interest in the profession. They feel like, oh, what's surveying all about? And then I think it was evident in one or two persons when we went to Unilag last week that
Okay.
they don't actually pass in surveying. And then they feel like, oh, there's a lot I can do out there aside surveying, it's tedious, stressful, and all of it. So I just want to say that the stress in surveying is just for the meantime. And then it gets to a point that you can give yourself, you can venture into so much things that will make things, that will make practice for you. And then also, surveying is an alternative, right? Surveying is an alternative. It's a very viable alternative to the popular Yahoo and all of those things. So for the young ones who are out there, it's a lot of struggle, but the gain at the end of it is always very, very good. And then you find yourself very much especially at anywhere you go to. Because surveying and built environment is quite active. You have to pay and then for all of the other aspects, it becomes so relevant. And then so to the young ones out there, and then to some of us who are up and coming to it, should just keep struggle. Should keep the struggle. Of course, from struggle after the struggle comes a lot of gain and all of it. So thank you very much, Traffic.
Okay then. Thank you very much, Surveyor Adedeji. He's another young surveyor, I guess, right?
Is the chair for Lagos State YSL.
Oh, which is very, very good. All right. So for those who are listening to us right now, they might be wondering, surveying profession, are there jobs? Are the jobs there? Can I grow rich? Can I grow wealthy being a surveyor? Surveyor robots. These are questions that will be bugging the minds of young girls. Is that not correct?
Yes, it's one question that a lot of people, struggle with, and that's because probably the people they have known around them as surveyors, who are not necessarily surveyors, have given them that impression. But surveying is quite a rewarding profession. It's quite a rewarding profession. And then let me even say that with the whole victory at the Supreme Court, where local governments are now getting some measure of financial autonomy.
Right.
Yes, I look forward to seeing the local governments engage more surveyors.
Okay.
Yes, for projects and most of their administrative.
So that should be a win-win for you guys.
Yes, it's a win.
All right. So that's if the local governments are going to be able to tap into this and they're able to take a full advantage of the benefits that comes with you guys as professionals. Let's begin to take this home this morning because of time constraints. So what's the message out there for the younger ones? How can they really transverse this profession in a very, very positive way?
Yes, I would say that it is important to take it one step at a time, and also pay attention to the nitty-gritties, because I know very well when I started also, the part of the things they talk about, the discipline, in fact it was so difficult that when you make a mistake somewhere, you don't write on it, you strike it out. Those are the kind of things I learned. So you have to be diligent, you have to be precise, accurate, and you have to be very, very careful. And that plays even in your life as you span through, and also be given to mentorship, because it is very, very important to tap from those that are ahead.
Right.
And I think all others will be history.
All right. So Adedeji is called right now, Agrobus. He did say that his message to the young ones is for them to realize that the stress they're going through right now is temporary. So is it very, very stressful being a surveyor?
Yes, it's very stressful. One of our slogans is, if you can endure the hardship and the rigors, be a surveyor. Surveying is a rigorous profession. But one of the beautiful things is that when you see the lights, that light that they actually insisted on keeping at the end of the tunnel, when you see the lights at the end of the tunnel, which is, the joy of seeing your clients happy, and of course the remuneration that comes with it.
Okay.
It cancels out the stress.
Beautiful. All right, then that would be a very, very good, joyful point to terminate the conversation. Let me appreciate you both. But as a round of AgroRobots, where can people really connect with you guys, the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria?
Okay, of course, our office is at the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors building on Asbifi Road, adjacent Revenue House. That's the old Elephant House. Or you can interact with us on our Facebook page, Association of Private Practicing Surveyors Lagos State Branch, or hit us up on Instagram on the same name. And then also reach out to us, send us a mail on appsnlagos20@gmail.com.
All right, we have to leave it at that for now. Surveyor David Elibide, it's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We hope to have you some more, and then we can really encourage younger ones out there to take this profession, which is a very, very noble profession, to another level. Thank you for being here. And to AgroRobots, it's always a thing of joy to have you. Thank you so much for being here too.
Thank you so much.
Okay then, so we've been able to drive through the young surveyors world, and we looked at their struggle for relevance in the surveying frontiers. We have to go. The program has been produced as usual by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Remy Aluko of our social media team. Not forgetting Okpebe Shodinke as well, and our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. Next Friday by 10:15, the benchmark brings a return. But till then, this is Victor Oteri. I'm wishing you well. I'll catch up with you tomorrow on Talk Time. Bye.
It's my house and I